Namaste. This is the class of 7th semester of analysis. Today we will study about factor affecting qualitative accuracy and non-linearity. The proportional relationship between the light absorption and fluorescence emission is only valid for the case where the absorption is small. As the concentration of fluorophores increases, derivation occurs and the plot of emission against concentration becomes non-linear. With right angle viewing, the principal distortion arises from the absorption of excited light before it can penetrate to the heart of the cell, whereas the emission produced is accepted by the detector optics. In case where it is necessary to work at high concentration, for example, in some enzyme work using NADH, it is usually possible to increase the linear concentration range by the use of microcubettes, often without much loss in the overall sensitivity. Generally, derivation of this sort are negligible when dealing with solution of transmission greater than 95% at the wavelength of interest, which can be easily checked with an absorption instrument. Often sources of non-linearity are usually associated with the instrumental signal handling, for example amplifier and display, especially meter system. So the non-linearity affect the quantitative accuracy of the fluorescence. Next is temperature affecting. Change in the temperature affect the viscosity of the medium and hence the number of collision of the molecule of the fluorophores with solvent molecule. Fluorescent intensity is sensitive to such change and the fluorescence of many certain fluorophores show a temperature dependence. In such case, the use of thermostated cell holder is to be recommended. Normally, it is sufficient to work at room temperature with the proviso that any sample produced involving heating or cooling must also allow sufficient time for the final solution to reach ambient before measurement. An introduction to fluorescent spectroscopy, pH effect. Next, so let's see what the pH effect do in our fluorometry and how it affect our fluorometry. So relatively small change in pH will sometimes radically affect the intensity and spectrum characteristic of fluorescence. Accurate pH control is essential, and when particular buffer solution are recommended in an assay produced, they should not be changed without investigation. Most phenols are fluorescent in neutral or acidic medium, but the presence of a base leads to the formation of non-fluorescent phenate ion, 5-hydroxyiodole, for example, styrene, show a shift in fluorescence emission maximum from 330 nanometer at neutral power pH to 550 nanometer in strong acid without any change in the absorption spectrum. Inner filter effect. Fluorescence intensity will be reduced by the presence of any compound which is capable of absorbing a portion of either the excitation or emission energy. A high concentration, this can be caused by absorption due to the fluorophores itself. More commonly, particularly when working with tissue or urine extract, it is the presence of relatively large quantities of other absorbing species that is troublesome. The purpose of extraction produced is usually to eliminate such species so that the final measurement is up to a solution essentially similar to the standard. So next is quenching. So let's see what is quenching. Decrease of fluorescence intensity by the interaction of the excited state of fluorophores with its surrounding is known as quenching and is further relatively rare. Quenching is not random. Each example is indicative of a specific chemical interaction and the common intent instant as well known. Quin- Quinine fluorescence is quenched by the presence of halide ion despite the fact that the absorption spectrum and the excitation coefficiency of quinine is identical in H2SO4 and HCl. So here we will finish this. We have finished the factor which affect the fluorescence. Hope you will like the video. For any query you can comment below. Thank you.